my beloved one, before you continue pushing through your day, before you bury your emotions beneath responsibilities, before you silence what your heart has been whispering for far too long, pause with me, just for a breath, just for a moment. You don't need to give me hours. You don't need to give me everything you have left. Asterisk, I know you're tired. I know you're stretched thin. All I'm asking for is this. Stay with me for one still moment. Asterisk, let the noise settle. Let your shoulders drop. Asterisk, let your spirit unclench itself from survival mode, because there is something I need you to receive. Something that can only reach you when you are quiet enough inside to truly hear it. Asterisk, you have walked through your days with a kind of heaviness that few people around you could recognize. You carried it silently, wearing strength like armor so no one would see how deeply you've been aching. You hid exhaustion behind responsibilities. You hid heartbreak behind busyness. You hid loneliness behind the smile you give the world. Asterisk, and I watched every moment, not with judgment, not with frustration. Asterisk, but with the kind of compassion that sees the whole truth, even the parts you hide from yourself. Asterisk, you've been moving forward, step by step, while feeling like pieces of you were slipping behind. Asterisk, you've been showing up for everyone, even when no one showed up for you. Asterisk, you've been holding your life together with trembling hands because you believed collapsing would make you a burden. But hear me, you were never meant to carry so much alone. I have seen the quiet shaking inside your spirit, the trembling hope, the stretched courage, the unspoken fears. Asterisk, you've been telling yourself you're fine because you felt you had no other choice. Asterisk, but the truth, your truth had then whispering beneath your breath. Asterisk, I'm tired, deeper than anyone knows. Asterisk, and I heard you, even when you said nothing, even when you convinced yourself that you had no right to ask for help. Asterisk, even when you numbed your heart to protect it. Asterisk, that is why I entered your moment today. Asterisk, why these words found you right now, not earlier, not later. Asterisk, why something in your chest is stirring, even if you can't explain why. You needed a pause you didn't know how to give yourself. You've been praying quietly, secretly, tears pressed into your pillow, pain tucked behind your own silence. Not dramatic prayers, not loud prayers, just the kind whispered in exhaustion, when you think no one is listening. But I listened, every whisper, every tear, every ache. Asterisk, every fear you were too tired to put into words. Your prayers did not vanish into the air, they reached me. They always reach me. Asterisk, even the ones you prayed without believing they were strong enough to be heard. Asterisk, something you prayed for. Asterisk, something tender, something long awaited, something fragile yet powerful, has been drawing closer to your life. But you've been carrying so much weight that you were becoming too exhausted to notice it approaching. Asterisk, your heart was numbing itself for protection. Asterisk, your spirit was slowly dimming. Asterisk, your hope was shrinking into survival mode. Asterisk, and I could not let you miss what is coming. Asterisk, so I stepped into your day with urgency wrapped in gentleness. Asterisk, I placed a tug in your spirit, strong enough to make you pause. Asterisk, I pulled your heart into this moment because what is ahead requires a heart that is awake, not numb, a spirit that is open, not closed, a soul that is breathing, not suffocating under silent pressure. Asterisk, my beloved, listen closely. You have been living with wounds that you try to outrun. But wounds don't disappear when ignored, they grow quiet, then heavy, then hidden. Asterisk, and I saw the pain you buried so deeply you no longer recognized it as pain. Asterisk, the heartbreak you told yourself you should be over by now. Asterisk, the disappointments you brushed off because you didn't want to seem weak. Asterisk, the memories that sting too sharply for you to revisit. Asterisk, the trust you offered that was broken in your hands. Asterisk, I saw every moment you held your breath to keep from crying. Asterisk, every night you curled yourself around the ache inside you because there was no one you felt safe enough to unravel with. Asterisk, every morning you got up anyway, even when all you wanted was rest. You are brave, braver than you believe. Asterisk, but even the brave need a place to lay their burdens. Asterisk, even the strong need a place to fall apart without fear. Asterisk, even the devoted need a moment where they don't have to be the steady one. Asterisk, and you have not had that in a long time. Asterisk, so let this moment be that. Asterisk, let this moment be where your breath steadies, where your soul unclenches, where your heart loosens the grip it has kept on every hurt it never had time to heal. Asterisk, come closer. There is more. You have felt abandoned at times. Asterisk, not by people only, but by life itself. Asterisk, you've wondered if you were unseen, overlooked, forgotten. Asterisk you questioned why certain doors closed so harshly, why certain seasons were so heavy, why certain promises seemed so far away. Asterisk but every closed door protected you. Asterisk every delay redirected you. Every silence shaped you. Even the loneliness, the kind that lingered even when you were surrounded by others. Asterisk was not proof of abandonment, but proof that your soul was outgrowing environments that could no longer hold you. You think you've been stuck, but you've been in preparation. Struggle carved new depth into you. Asterisk every tear watered a part of your spirit that needed to grow. Asterisk every disappointment refined your discernment. Asterisk you are not who you were a year ago. Asterisk not who you were 6 months ago. Asterisk not even who you were last week. Asterisk something in you has been transforming quietly, beneath the surface, beneath the noise. Asterisk that transformation is why you feel restless. Asterisk why you feel distant from things you used to tolerate. Asterisk why your heart has been craving peace more than anything else, why your spirit has been calling out for stillness. You are shedding old versions of yourself. Asterisk versions that survived, yes, but also versions that carried too much pain. And now you are entering a season where the spirit needs room to rise, room to breathe, room to heal, room to receive. What is coming toward you is not something small. Asterisk not something ordinary. Not something accidental. It is something with weight. Asterisk the weight of answered prayer, the weight of restoration, the weight of alignment, the weight of purpose. But to receive it, you must be present, awake, open. Asterisk soft enough to feel again. Asterisk so I called you into this moment. Asterisk I wrapped my presence around you in words. I reached you through the tiredness. I found your heart even in the numbness. Asterisk because the breakthrough approaching your life requires a heart that is alive enough to recognize it. Asterisk my beloved, let me tell you something you have forgotten. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are not failing. You are not forgotten. You are not unworthy. You are becoming. You are healing. You are rising. Asterisk you are being positioned. Asterisk you are being strengthened. Asterisk you are being restored in ways you cannot yet see. Asterisk and this moment, this very one, is part of that restoration. Asterisk let this message settle. Let it breathe inside you. Let it speak to the tired places, the hurting places, the numb places. Asterisk let it remind you of what your heart stopped believing was possible. Asterisk you were not drifting anymore. You are being guided. You are not alone anymore. You are being held at, are not hopeless anymore. Asterisk you are being renewed. Asterisk stay in this moment a little longer. Asterisk let it become the shift you didn't know you needed. Asterisk stay with me a little longer, my beloved one. Asterisk there is something deeper I want to place within you, something your heart has been quietly reaching for even when your mind could not articulate the need. Asterisk you have walked through life with pieces of yourself scattered across memories you try not to revisit. Asterisk little fragments left behind at moments where you had to be strong when you were breaking. Asterisk responsible when you were collapsing, calm when everything inside you was trembling. There are corners of your heart that you haven't touched in years. Asterisk places you closed off because reopening them felt dangerous. Asterisk felt overwhelming, felt like reopening wounds instead of healing them. But those places are calling now. Asterisk not for you to relive the pain, but because something inside you is ready to be restored. You are not the person who got hurt. You are the person who survived, the person who grew. Asterisk the person who kept moving even when every step felt heavy. Asterisk but the parts of you that once shut down for protection are now longing to wake up. Asterisk your joy wants to breathe again. Asterisk your hope wants to grow again. Your trust wants to stretch again. Your spirit wants to feel safe again. Asterisk this awakening is why you've been feeling emotions you can't explain, why memories have surfaced unexpectedly, why your heart has been stirring in ways you didn't understand. Asterisk not to torment you but to tell you it's time, you're ready. Asterisk you're safe enough now for growth. Asterisk your spirit has been whispering this for weeks, maybe months. Asterisk but you were too exhausted to pay attention to its quiet voice. Asterisk so I brought you this message to amplify the whisper. Asterisk you are entering a season where your heart will begin to return to itself. Asterisk where numbness will melt, where heaviness will lighten, where the walls you built out of necessity will gently lower because they no longer serve you. Becoming you don't heal by force, you heal by permission, and this moment is that permission. Come closer, I want to speak through the version of you that hides beneath all the layers of responsibility and resilience. Asterisk, there is a part of you that has been waiting for someone to say, you don't need to be strong every second. You don't need to pretend you're unshaken. Asterisk, you don't need to silence what hurts. I see you, I hear you. I'm holding what you've been afraid to feel. That part of you has been pushing its way to the surface lately, not to overwhelm you, but because it's finally safe enough to be acknowledged. You've told yourself for so long that you had to keep going, no matter the cost. That resting was weakness. That slowing down meant falling behind. That pausing meant losing momentum. But here is the truth you've forgotten. Recovery is still progress. Rest is still movement. Healing is still growth. You cannot keep pouring from a cup that has turned to dust. Asterisk, you cannot keep running when your feet are blistered. Asterisk, you cannot keep pretending you are unbreakable. You don't need to be unbreakable. You only need to be honest with yourself. Asterisk, honest with your heart. Asterisk, honest with the quiet places inside you that whisper at night. Asterisk, you have always been worthy of gentleness. Asterisk, but you often give it to others more freely than you give it to yourself. Asterisk, it's time that changed. You deserve tenderness. You deserve slowness. Asterisk, you deserve a love both from others and within yourself that doesn't require you to dilute your spirit to be accepted. Asterisk, you deserve to feel safe inside your own heart again. Asterisk, and you will. Asterisk, let me tell you something crucial, something that will shift how you see your life. You did not break when they left. You bloomed differently. Asterisk, the things that wounded you shaped you in ways you still don't fully understand. They deepened your compassion. They sharpened your intuition. Asterisk, they made your heart softer in some places, wiser in others. Asterisk, they stretched your capacity to love, to endure, to rise. Do not mistake your scars for weaknesses. They are evidence of overcoming. Asterisk, you carry wisdom now. Asterisk, the kind that can only be learned through experience. Asterisk, the kind that allows you to see truth where others see illusions. You think you lost time, but what you gained in understanding is far more valuable than the years you spent surviving. Asterisk, still, I know that deep inside you lies a fear you've never spoken aloud. Asterisk, what if nothing good is coming for me? Asterisk, what if my best days already passed? Asterisk, what if I'm too tired to rise again? Asterisk, let me answer you gently, yet clearly. Asterisk, your best days have not passed. Your story is not done. Your purpose is not fading. Your future is not empty. Asterisk, there are blessings aligned with your life that will not be late. Asterisk, there are opportunities forming that will not be missed. Asterisk, there is a peace approaching that will feel like home after years of wandering. Asterisk, there are connections forming that will meet you where your soul truly is, not where you pretend to be. Asterisk, but before these things arrive, I need your heart to awaken. Asterisk, I need your spirit present. Asterisk, I need your inner self to rise from the quiet numbness it's been living in. Asterisk, and that is why I drew you into this. The moment you are being prepared, not punished. You are being shaped, not forgotten. Asterisk, you are being strengthened, not ignored. Asterisk, you are being softened, not broken. Asterisk, you're next. The season will require a heart that is open enough to receive joy without fear, love without suspicion, blessings without self-doubt. Asterisk, so let this message do something inside you. Let it unburden you. Let it loosen the knots inside your chest. Asterisk, let it breathe life into the parts of you that felt wilted. And hear me, you will not miss what is meant for you. Asterisk, you will not be left behind. Asterisk, you will not be overlooked in this next chapter. Asterisk, you will not have to fight alone anymore. This is not the end of your story. This is the moment your story turns. Asterisk, my beloved one, lean into this moment a little more. Let everything around you fade for now so that your heart can finally breathe without pressure. You don't need to hold yourself together right now. You don't need to seem strong. You don't need to hide behind the practiced calm that you show the world. I am here to meet you exactly where you are, not where you pretend to be. You have spent so much time comforting others, encouraging others, supporting others, that you forget how long it has been since someone reached into the tired places within you and asked how you were truly feeling. You offer warmth so naturally that people forget you need warmth too. You hold everyone else with understanding. Yet you've rarely had a place where your own soul could rest without feeling the need to apologize for its heaviness. Your heart has been brave for so long that it forgot what gentleness feels like. And that is why this moment matters. I brought you back here because your spirit needs the tenderness you rarely allow yourself to receive. Asterisk, you've been carrying quiet disappointments tucked into hidden corners of your memory. You rarely think about them directly, yet their echoes still shape the way your heart moves through the world. Some of those disappointments came from people you trusted deeply, people you believed would stay, people you never imagined would cause harm. When they turned away, something inside you dimmed. No one saw the way you silenced your hurt because you thought protecting others from your pain was more important than acknowledging your own. But I saw it. I saw the way you convinced yourself you didn't need anything from anyone. I saw the way you lowered your expectations so you wouldn't feel the sting of being let down again. I saw the way you taught yourself to settle for less emotional connection because you thought needing more made you difficult. And I have watched that shrinking spirit of yours slowly yearn to expand again. Asterisk. Let me tell you a truth you haven't allowed yourself to believe. It is not weakness to want to be understood. It is not neediness to desire connection. It is not too much to want someone who sees you without you having to explain every wound, every dream, every fear. Your heart was made to be heard, not hidden. Your soul was made to be embraced, not carried alone. You were made for love that doesn't require you to shrink yourself or hide your pain or pretend to be invincible. And deep within you, beneath all the layers of independence you've built out of necessity, lies a longing for that kind of love. The kind that feels safe, the kind that feels steady, the kind that lifts instead of drains, the kind that mirrors the gentleness you give to others. Asterisk. You've waited so long for someone to truly stay with you in the silent places, so long for someone to hold your heart without making you feel like a burden, so long for someone whose presence feels like rest instead of effort. But the waiting has exhausted you. It has made you question your worth. It has made you wonder if something is wrong with you, if you expect too much, if you are somehow unlovable in the ways you need most. But nothing is wrong with you. Your heart is not too much. Your needs are not excessive. Your desire for connection is not a flaw. You simply have a soul that was built for depth, and depth is often misunderstood by those who live at the surface. Asterisk. You have been afraid to ask for more because you've convinced yourself that receiving more is unlikely. But I want you to understand that the loneliness you feel is not a sign of abandonment, it is a sign of growth. You outgrew the spaces that could not hold your spirit. You outgrew the people who only loved your strength but never made room for your vulnerability. You outgrew the environments that required you to be small. And sometimes outgrowing feels like being alone, when in truth it is simply the space before new alignment arrives. Asterisk. You have been in that in-between space for a while now. The old no longer fits, but the new has not fully arrived. It leaves you feeling suspended, like you're floating in unfamiliar territory with no map to guide you. But the in-between is not failure, it is transformation. The ground beneath you is shifting into something steadier. The places where you once felt lost are becoming places where clarity will rise. The relationships that faded were not punishments. They were pathways redirecting you towards people who can finally meet your spirit with the same depth it offers. And while you may not see it yet, something is already unfolding for you. Life has been rearranging itself behind the scenes. Doors you thought were closed forever are quietly unlocking. Paths that once felt impossible are beginning to align. Connections that seemed distant are moving closer. Healing that felt unreachable is inching its way into your soul. You cannot see everything now, but the pieces are moving. The threads are weaving. The weight you feel is not the weight of a collapsing life, it is the weight of a life shifting into alignment. Asterisk. I know you've been scared to hope. Scared that if you let your heart believe again, it will break again. Scared that trusting will cost you more pain. But the fear inside you is not a warning, it is simply a sign that your heart is waking up after a long sleep. Hope feels frightening when you haven't felt it in a long time. Trust feels risky when your heart is still tender. But you do not need to rush. You do not need to force anything. You only need to allow your spirit to soften one layer at a time. Healing is not a dramatic moment. Healing is a slow returning, a gentle unfolding, a quiet remembering that your heart was always meant to feel deeply, not hide endlessly. Asterisk. Let me reassure you, nothing that is meant for you will require you to lose yourself. Nothing that belongs to you will ever ask you to silence your needs or dim your light or weaken your boundaries. Asterisk. Amen. I agree with these words. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs the reminder that they are seen, loved, and held, especially in the moments when they feel forgotten. May these words reach the ones who are silently struggling, the ones carrying heaviness behind a brave face, the ones who give love freely but rarely receive the same depth in return. May it strengthen the weary, soften the hurting, and awaken hope where it has faded. Someone out there needs this.